Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. Welcome. I don't know what that means. Welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me via the YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you are liking the Facebook page, Coach Gene Clemens. All of the different things we have on, we'll talk about it later. You know, we talk about it, we say it all the time, but I don't really know if we really understand it. But life, all about choices. Everything that we do is a choice. Now, some people might say, oh, well, I didn't have a choice in this, or I didn't have a choice in that. But the truth is that if you look down the line somewhere, you're going to find things that made a difference in your decision making. That's just, that's just how it goes. Like, you're going to find things that you could have done differently, that you may have done differently, that's going to be able to shape and change what life will be like. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Like, the idea that we're not human and that we can't make choices that may not end up being the best doesn't mean that the choice was wrong, but it does mean that we have to live with the outcome. And so yesterday the Ravens were playing, and they were able to drive late in the game down after giving up a touchdown. They were able to drive down and score a touchdown. And they could have kicked the field goal, or they could have went for two. And they decided to go for two. Hey, you know what? This isn't abnormal for Baltimore. They play the analytics game more than everybody else. But I'll tell you something that I learned a long time as a coach about the 2-point conversion, right? And that's what we were told when it was tied. You go for the win on the road, you go for the tie at home. So, and this is when I was a kid and that I have used my entire life as a coach. You go for the win on the road, you go for the tie at home. The idea is your home crowd, home cooking. Everything is going to be in your favor at home. Nothing is in your favor on the road. So if you have the chance to win it, go ahead and try to win it, because there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to win it in the overtime. So from that standpoint, I was going for two anyway. I don't even want to get into the play. Thought it was a great play. I always sometimes wonder why people decide to do things right at the best player on the team. But Lamar Jackson's right-handed. So doing the play that way means that if he does get pressure, he can extend his arm, go sideways with it. He has more angles to get the ball off, and he's not throwing. If he was throwing to his left, he would be throwing it around where all the players are. So I get it. My biggest issue isn't the choice they made at the end of the game. My biggest issue is the choices they make throughout the game. Nobody noticing that every time they put Lamar Jackson in a situation where he's essentially like out there Peyton Manning it, tempo and moving at his pace, quick decisions, able to get up, move, work from the shotgun. Every time they do that, he has so much success. I wish I was one of those statisticians that just had a job where I could sit around all day creating stats, because I would look at Lamar Jackson's completion percentage in the up-tempo offense, in an up-tempo offense. I guarantee you it is good. Yet, the Baltimore Ravens, who have lost every running back known to man, and who currently have no running backs on the team that are going to strike fear into the heart of my high school team, they continually run out and try to run this offense that is essentially designed on triple option principles. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson is just sitting back here having to be the leading rusher on the team because your best running back isn't good anymore. He has to be the leading rusher on the team. He has to carry that weight. Then he has to turn around and try to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league in order to win, because your offensive line isn't the greatest, because you've had injuries and retirements, and you replaced them with terrible offensive linemen like Villanueva. Thank you for your service, but you're not a good offensive lineman anymore. I'm sorry. Dude is a turnstile over there at right tackle. So with all of these deficiencies that they have on offense, and with all of the injuries they've had, offense and now on defense, because now they just lost Marlon Humphreys for the season, another big weapon gone, he still has them atop the division. And yet, they still keep acting as if they have to manage this man. I watch the game, and I am infuriated every time I watch the game for him, because I'm watching this Greg Roman character go out there and call these plays that I'm like, are you reading the room? You guys have weapons. They're not like, they're not like Kansas City weapons or Arizona weapons, but these receivers can get it done. Hollywood Brown has had a tremendous bounce back season. Mark Andrews is a great tight end on receiving tight end. He doesn't really make any clutch plays, but he's a great receiving tight end. You have all of the makings of a receiving core that can get the job done, of a receiving core that can make things happen, of a receiving core that can work in an offense where the trigger man doesn't play favorites. Lamar Jackson does not play favorites. You have all of that, and yet, with that, you continue to not, I repeat, you continue to not allow this man to operate in the same mode that every other quarterback operates in. It's almost as if you are trying to sabotage yourself, and he keeps not allowing you to sabotage yourself. Like, I can't understand for the life of me why people don't understand the damage that you do to a quarterback, and that you do to the perception of a quarterback when you manage him like this. If he's going to fail, just let him fail. But what happens is, when you manage him like this and then his stats look like they do, right? They're not overwhelming, but that's because people don't watch games. But when his stats look like they do, they're not, oh my God, he was fantastic. He was fantastic on that last drive for sure. But, oh my God, he wasn't fantastic. Look at the stats. Meanwhile, neglecting the rushing numbers that he puts up that are equivalent of top 5 running back or top 10 running back numbers every week. Besides that, you look at it and you go, well, if they let him pass more, his completion percentage. Look, man, the completion percentage doesn't matter. He's going to complete something around 60-something percent. That's more than good enough. That is more than good enough. You people are walking around acting as if Aaron Rodgers is out here completing 75% of his passes. He's not. So we're talking about the difference between 3 to 5 passes being completed. And mind you, that's not even saying that you can guarantee that that's 3 to 5 passes that are like legitimate, makes a difference type of passes. That's just 3 to 5 random passes. The Baltimore Ravens will never win a Super Bowl trying to manage this guy as if he can't just function as a regular quarterback. Because every time they are forced to allow him to operate as a regular quarterback, he's phenomenal. Look at all of the games where they are behind. Look at all of the games where they are behind, and they have no other choice but to abandon their normal, I'm going to put 2 tight ends and a fullback offense in, and they spread it out, put Lamar Jackson in the shotgun, and let him deal. Every single time they do that, it's success. And then people go, oh, those are meaningless stats. Well, how convenient. How convenient of you to call them meaningless stats. How convenient of you. Look, you have a choice. The same way that the Ravens offensive coordinator and coaching staff had a choice. John Harbaugh had a choice. He said, I'm going with the most dynamic player in the NFL for a 2-point conversion. It didn't work out. He's got to live with that decision. Greg Roman goes, this quarterback doesn't get it done the way in which other quarterbacks gets it done. I'm not even going to see if he can. I'm just going to design this really weird offense that is predicated on running the ball a lot with my quarterback and hope he doesn't get hurt. And then when we absolutely positively need him to throw the ball like a quarterback, hopefully he can. So there's choices there, right? Because eventually when you have to, and he does, and you keep on doing this, he's going to go, all right, well, you know what? If you want me to be a whole quarterback and a whole running back at one time, I'm going to need you to pay me for both positions. So now I want you to pay me more than anybody else in the league. And how can you argue when they're giving guys like Josh Allen the money that they gave him? How can you argue? You can't. You can't go, oh no, he's not worth that money. In what world is he not? So your choices have consequences. And the consequences are going to be your wallet. Fans have a choice. You can appreciate what you have, or you can keep on trying to nitpick. Oh, I saw receivers running open. Okay. Did you look at what he was doing back there while the receivers were running open? Oh, he should have hit blah, blah, blah. Did you see the person that was in his face? when he was trying to throw it? He didn't make. Did you see the fact that he carried you? You don't have anybody else doing anything. If he wasn't there, you would be a 3-win team? No? Okay. Because when he ends up doing that for someone else, because you don't appreciate him, that was your choice. See, there's so many things that go into life before you ever even get to that last decisive choice. I just think people need to understand that. And when you're looking at your own life, don't just look at the culminating decision. Don't just look at this is what happened. Look at the things that led up to the culminating decision. And I guarantee you'll find something in there where you made a choice that may not have been the best choice, and now you have to live with it. There's an old saying that says, if you believe you're wrong or you believe you're right, I'm sorry, it's not. If you believe you can or if you believe you can't, then you're right. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. I take that to heart. And I apply it to everything that I do in life. And you should as well. Because the choices that you make ultimately will affect you. And isn't that who we're supposed to be protecting anyway? Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree. Whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Make sure that you catch our Offensive Thoughts podcast that usually drops tonight. My basketball podcast with myself and Coach Whit LaJour. Make sure that you are checking out the first episode of Gene Therapy on CWN Sports. You can see that right now. Make sure you pick that up. Make sure you go and click on that. Download that, CWN Sports. Take a listen. Read the column. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Peace.